Hello.
Madeline. And
My name's Madeline.
Taylor, you have to get in the frame.
Yeah.
And Taylor.
But half of it, there is no frame.
What do you guys like most about reading?
Reading?
Yeah.
She said no thank you.
Sometimes I feel like intellectual when I read. Also, I also just like I don't know. I feel like it's a better use of like media consumption than like being on your phone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so I feel like I'm like, okay, I use my time wisely, and like I don't know, I also feel like you like learn things. Like you learn stuff about like words and
Words.
Learn some words.
and yeah.
I feel like it's
The
more
vibes are
like
good.
meaningful to read like something, like a book, than like watch a video, because I feel like a lot of the times now, like everyone just like scrolls on TikTok or like watches a show on Netflix. I don't know.
We also
Something
do
about
that.
a book.
Yeah.
I'm part of the problem. But also like, I feel like it's really fun because when you read something, you don't like actually see what's happening, so you kind of like, I feel like reading is like subjective. Like you imagine everything in your own like world, and like everyone has their own interpretation of like whatever happened.
Oh my gosh,
yeah,
Abby,
you're cooking. You're cooking.
I'm cooking. And I think that's really cool.
I was gonna say like, I just like to get away from like,
Yeah.
the world.
Yeah.
I just think it helps me like
Like,
go-
escape.
You build
Yeah,
like a whole world.
Exactly.
Like
That's
you
why I
like,
like Harry Potter.
Yeah, or like fantasy
Yeah.
books, or even
like you
just,
live another life.
Yeah.
yeah, or you get to just like experience things that you probably won't experience.
Yeah.
Romance novel 101.
Yeah. Usually
True love.
romantically.
Usually romance.
Yeah.
Okay, let's
What about Taylor?
Oh, that's
Just-
my mind. Just like
yeah.
escape.
Mm-hmm.
You just like go somewhere else for like however long you're reading.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you really can like get into
And
the
the
world rather than
possibilities
just
are
like watching
endless.
something.
Yeah.
You really like
Yeah. And then you get to like build a community with people who've also read it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, like even
It becomes
just, like, talking
talking,
about
yeah.
books
Yeah.
with people is just so like, that's like another part of reading that like I love.
connection.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like, you know, book clubs or just like making friends with books. Or not making
People who read the same book.
Okay, now we're going to say our top 3 books. Like our top favorite 3 books that we've read.
Number one,
45 minutes.
I wrote this in one of my college applications, The Miraculous Journey of Edward Tulane.
Yes.
I read that when I was in like 2nd grade, I think. It's such a good book. I know it's a children's book,
But
okay.
but it's like, I don't know, it's so like
Impactful.
They're like the
nostalgic.
best ones,
Yeah.
honestly.
well, like, okay, you don't have to have like number 1, number 2, number 3, but like 3 books that are like you just love.
Mm.
I would say Percy Jackson.
Mm.
Oh my gosh. I don't know.
Oh. The, what's it called? An Ember in the Ashes series. I love
I
that
haven't
book.
read it, but
I feel like no one has read that book series, but I loved it.
have you guys read Dork Diaries?
Dork? What if I said Diary of a Wimpy Kid? I'm like all the Harry Potter books.
That's what
I haven't read all of them, but like Perks of Being a Wallflower.
That's what I was
I
gonna
haven't
say.
read that one.
I was gonna
Never
say.
read the
But I was
one.
only gonna like copy your full answer.
Oh,
Harry Potter, because that's really.
Sorry.
No, that's just like what got me into reading.
Harry Potter was just like a different thing.
Got me into
She's
reading.
controversial.
Divergent got me into reading.
Mm.
Yes, Divergent the
Your
book.
name,
Stop.
Your name, movie. I'm going back to my J.K. Rowling thing, but I meant that like what she created was so like it changed the world.
Yeah, no, Harry Potter was
Yeah.
a very like
Yeah,
revolutionary
because
book.
when I was reading, like I can picture what's going on in the movies, but the fact that she just created it out of her mind is like
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Do you have
someone
you
else.
Kiss, Marry, Kill, Kindle, paperback, and audiobook.
Oh,
Kiss, Marry, Kill audiobook.
Really?
Personally, I feel
Yeah.
like it just like I like to come up with like how these characters sound in my own head, and I just like
Yes.
um
And then some of the audiobook actors, no offense, I'm sure that they're wonderful people. Their voices.
Yeah,
Like,
sometimes, like-
voices,
or like
bro.
they're
Yeah,
really
voices.
slow, and I'm like
yes. Or when like their voices
You're
like
just
really
annoyed by the
deep,
end of the book.
and
You're like,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
When their voice is like really, really deep, and I'm like, what? Like this is uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like,
or like you start imagining them like reading it, like seeing them reading it, and you're like
yeah.
This is
They're
weird.
probably like, and he like I'm like
yeah.
So Kill audiobook,
But what are the other
Kindle,
options?
and paperback.
Mary
Mary
paperback,
paperback.
Yeah.
and then
Kiss, Kindle.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have an emotional attachment to my Kindle, but
There's something about holding a
Paperback
book, though. That's like
is-
the
yeah.
whole part of it.
and I get
Yeah.
to like keep it as a trophy, like one of those
Yeah.
like serial killers, you know.
and like putting it back on your bookshelf after you finish reading it, you're like
Yeah.
Yeah, just like a
I'm like,
rewarding
I
And then
did
you
that.
can talk about it like you read
Yeah.
it. Like,
Yeah.
I did.
And
I
then
just read that book.
like some of the books that I like forgot that I read them on Kindle. Like,
Because you read them like so fast.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's not like an actual physical copy.
Yeah, exactly. And then I'm like
like
looking
you
at my Goodreads review.
yeah.
I'm like, what
was
is that
this book
about?
Yeah.
Like you retain more if you read it.
Yeah.
On hardcover. Yeah.
What's a character that you would switch places with?
Violet from Fourth
From
Wing.
Fourth Wing.
That would just be
Yes.
so fun. Or like, you could say like Hermione.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Hermione, yeah.
Yeah.
To be like,
I don't know if
to
I
be
would
that
be
Not
smart.
Harry.
Because he's like fated to
Low-key
die.
like
so.
Hagrid.
Hagrid.
No,
Dobby.
I would say
Dobby.
I would low-key say
Yeah.
Liz from Better Than the Movie.
Yes, Liz from
Yeah.
Better
But
Than
different
But
clothes.
she's annoying.
I know, just make it like different personality.
She does about 47,000 things that I wouldn't have done in that book. But
Talking about Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter.
Lynn Painter. But
Go read.
shout out promo.
Bro. Wes? I know, like.
Yes. To be able to date him and experience like how much he likes
the
her.
slow burn.
Yes.
I feel like
that.
characters in books, it's just like because the author just like makes them like just so perfect.
So like complex.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
And,
just
like
want to be
you
them.
just don't find people like that
And
in
they're
real
so
life.
perfectly constructed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or like reading a romance book written by a woman, like a man
Yeah.
written by a woman,
Yeah.
like it's
Perfect.
literally
Yes.
just like
men could never
Yeah,
understand
never.
on that
No.
level.
yeah, but because it's written by.
There's a reason
us.
that there's no romance books, or not many that are written by men.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that actually like
Or
Not
like
many
that do
popular.
well.
That do
yeah.
well.
There's
yeah.
a reason why books are just fantasy.
What is a release that you're looking forward to this year?
A release.
The
Oh.
Fourth Wing, the third one, that's going to
That's
in
what-
January.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
Onyx Storm.
but it's Onyx Storm.
Have you
No.
read the second one?
No.
Have you read the second one?
Yes.
So good.
It's so good. Elizabeth,
Oh,
like, she knows it. We're gonna be finished the third one, and she won't even have
Yeah.
started.
The third
second
Powerless book, Fearless.
Yes, that's what I was gonna
Yes.
say. Have you read that?
one. Guys, I haven't gotten to the
She
first
didn't
one
finish
because
Powerless.
it's just she's such like a TikTok author that takes books from like or inspiration pieces of like the plot from like every other person.
I understand.
I get that. I
but
get
like
that.
it's
verbatim
still-
quote from Outer Banks. I'm like,
Oh yeah, the
where
second.
she slaps him, it's like Skeeter. Like I'm like, all right. Like,
Well, it already came out.
Which one?
But I want to read Nothing Like the Movies.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wait,
yeah.
that came out?
People said
Yeah.
it's bad, but
Elizabeth
Wait.
refuses to read it.
I
Really?
think I'm gonna refuse to read it because they say Wes. It's
Is it
just
a
like,
trilogy?
No, it's just two.
Wait, it came out.
there are
It
like
did.
little spin-offs though, like
Okay, well there are like some like
Better Than the Prom or something.
No.
Yeah, Better Than
it-
the
it's just on her it's just on her website though.
Mark
Question.
Prindle.
Next question, guys.
Parkerverse.
I don't like that you can
Neutral
see my-
Drive.
What is the worst book that you've ever
Oh,
read?
you just
So
sorry.
It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover.
Oh,
The
real.
worst
Worst book
book?
you've ever read?
I haven't read enough books to have read like a.
I think I'm gonna say The Alchemist by
Oh,
Yeah.
Like
School.
if I'm thinking about school
including
books,
including school books. It could be any book that you've read.
The,
Do you want to say The Alchemist by whoever?
Paulo Coelho or something
Paulo
like that.
Coelho. I wrote
tried
that
to
name
be-
so many times.
He
Yeah.
tried to be
Yeah.
deep in the
brain
book.
in there. It
Did
didn't
not work.
I made that book what it is
Oh,
with
no.
my interpretation of it. Like
Thank you.
I like
Oh, I wish I thought it wasn't.
glazed that
practically
book
wrote it.
in that essay.
Oh, sorry.
Mine
I
is,
just-
this is
I
controversial
just
because
took over.
Elizabeth likes this book, but The Cheat Sheet by Sarah Adams.
I didn't hate. I mean, I don't love
I
it, but I
don't know.
didn't
It's
hate
like,
it
oh, it's so
because it
bad.
was miscommunication. So
Oh, I
No,
hate
and
those tropes.
it's also just like they're so immature.
Oh.
It's like you're supposed to be like 30. What are you
Yeah.
doing?
there's a book called Before We Were Strangers
I
by.
feel like I've heard of that one
I
before.
feel like
I-
I bought it from Barnes and Nobles and then like read the first page. They were
I
like 40.
hated
returned
it.
I'm not even kidding.
They were
returned
old
it.
and they were acting like
I was
children.
like, I'm not wasting my-
Old. When you're 40, you're done.
You're old.
Forget it. You don't get to live.
Oh,
anymore.
By
wait.
Renee Carlino. Literally hated this book. They acted like children.
Why'd you just do like the makeup?
The makeup. Literally hated.
Oh,
this
I just
book.
showed everyone my Kindle or whatever.
Oh.
I
There's
thought
a book that got it's
There is a book.
There is a book.
It's
Once there
about-
a book exists,
it's about
girl.
this girl. She moves into this new like quiet city, but it's like she falls in love with this
focusing on my
guy
face.
who's deaf, I think. Archer's voice.
Archer's voice. You don't like that one?
I just thought it was kind of cringe at some
Oh, like I
points.
Agree You.
Or
Yeah, get out. Oh my god. Or like
Madeleine.
it was just so unrealistic to the point where it's like I know that these books are supposed to be unrealistic.
I'm gonna
but,
keep
like,
in this clip.
I know.
fit like the vision of graduate ideals, like compassionate, creative citizen, critical thinker.
Well, this just reminds me because the book is up there, All the Light We Cannot See. I read it last year during English for like an independent reading thing. And I don't think that my brain is like complex enough to really understand it, but it was very well written, and I feel like if you're thinking about like the attributes that a kid in graduate should have, you would be able to understand that book. And I don't know, it's about like World War II, this girl and this boy, and it's like kind of like they're contrasting stories. I think she lives in France and he like ends up joining the Nazi military, and I don't know, it was just good. I just specifically, when you said like compassion, that's what I was thinking about, because it's like empathy and like, I don't know, whatever. Someone else talk.
I was thinking Brooks Wallflower.
Yeah.
Because I feel like he just like, I don't know. That's
Empathy.
Yeah,
that's a good one. I'm gonna go for any any like fantasy romance readers out there.
Well, no, it's Vision of a Graduate, bro.
Well, that's still, you can still.
Yeah, like I'm recommending a great book.
Yeah.
Well, what if they're not a fantasy reader?
Okay,
Oh,
it's like
no one is listening.
disregard it if you're
just
not.
in general.
This is for all of you out there. The one person that might watch this video.
It's a book called An Ember in the Ashes. I already talked about this, but I feel like the basis is both these characters are on this like dystopian society where they're all bound to like a certain set of social norms, and like the main female protagonist, she like goes against these, or like you know your basic dystopian story. But I feel like the book really encompasses like being a compassionate citizen, like with the characters, like the things that they do, the lengths he goes for her.
Need.
Right,
Need that.
exactly.
Need that.
Where is that? Also,
Not at this school.
like critical thinker and like creative thinker in the way that like you see how these characters like problem solve, how they like. Why are you laughing?
Yeah, okay.
Why are you laughing?
Creative can be applied to like any book. You really have to create something in your mind.
And like the way you can kind of like see how their mind works, because they're like our age in the book. I don't know. And also, collaborator, that's a given. What's the last one?
Given. Can you elaborate on that?
like collaborate, like you work with people, you know what I mean? Like collaborate.
Exactly.
Like in the
You're
book,
the one
they
reading
work
the
to like dismantle their society. Kind
Yeah,
of.
they all work
societal
together
norms.
they form like a resistance. They get
Okay, so
together
it
to
wasn't
fight for a
given,
greater
but
good.
continue.
Okay, but like I feel like it is though.
I was gonna recommend, I already did this on like my first episode when I like filmed it by myself, but Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo is literally
I've
so
learned
good.
that book.
So anyway, Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. It's about six
adventure.
it's about six outcasts
for the
that band together
what kind of card is
and
that?
Your mom's card.
Let her speak.
band together and take on a heist. It's fantasy, there's romance, it's just super good. I recommend it to like everyone. And yeah.
We love you guys out there.
Thank you to all the readers out there.
We love Elizabeth editing.
Beep. Bye, thank you.
Why my thumbs look like that?
Look at them.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm gonna keep.